This is the Incal by Jodorowsky and Moebius. I read this 2 or 3 years ago, and I just thought that it's something that a friend of mine told me, that the price you pay for this glorious Moebius art is reading Jodorowsky's writing. Um, this book is just really hard to read. I know some people love it, but it's just really hard to read because the first few issues are all world building. But instead of just saying, okay, we've kind of been doing world building, we're gonna like now start basing stories off this world. It just keeps introducing new things and new things and new things and new things, and it's just almost too much. It's TMI. I think the ending was pretty solid, but I remember reading seeing a documentary where Jodorowsky said, oh, I would write myself at the end of a chapter into a corner, but then I would think of a way to get out. So you could just tell that he was like making it up as he went along. But so on the reread, I didn't really think much of it. I ran into the same thing. It was interesting at first, and then it's just got terminal towards the middle, and then it had a cool ending. But I do appreciate the Moebius art more, because I think Moebius is one of the few guys that could have taken Jodorowsky's crazy script and made something good out of it, or something readable out of it. But again, this is just Moebius in full force. Just characters, action, these cyberpunk kind of landscapes. The coloring is great. And some of these covers are pretty cool. And, he can draw the cities, and he can draw the mountains and all this and these animals, but then he can draw these cool one-page spreads. He's really flexing his art here. And as much as I love Moebius, to me, Moebius's work is always better when somebody else was doing the writing. When he was writing and drawing his own stories, most of the time, I'm just not feeling it. Arzak is probably different, but that's more of almost like it's a wordless comic, and it's almost like a dreamscape kind of thing. But the art in that is so amazing that it's like you can kind of forgive little or no actual story. But again, the art here is just great. This is the real draw. And it's funny because I have a lot of Moebius books, especially mostly the Dark Horse ones. And I'm just surprised that I never bought a copy of this. I think I just didn't really like reading it. But I'm looking at this art now and I'm thinking, man, you know what? I should get this book just for this art. Because, I think the ending is pretty cool. And if you're not familiar with the ending, I'm going to spoil it. But this character, John DeFool, which is a funny, pun, has this thing called the Incal. And he's being chased over it. And it's sort of almost like the ultimate source of knowledge. And at the end, let me see if I find it. At the end, he kind of has almost like a 2001 Space Odyssey ending, where he meets basically this ultimate being, and he kind of explains what's going on. And the Incal is really his child, and the child is born. It's almost like that Star Child thing from 2001 Space Odyssey, but then he's sent back in time. Sent back, and it says you must remember. And they're like, why do I have to go back? It goes, oh, you have to go back. Basically it's almost the wheel of karma. Like he has to keep going back so he can learn. But they don't explain what he wants to learn. And then the book ends almost just basically where the beginning is. And then there's this little small story about the Meta Barons, which I never got into, only because Moebius wasn't drawing them, and all the sequels. But I think the ending was good. I think a lot of the middle was just very derivative, very boring. But then again, I'm looking at this art, and it's like, man, I forgot how good this art is, and how good Moebius can be when he has a script and he's working from that script, or at least ideas and notes. So if you've never read this, I'm just going to tell you parts of it are a real slog. Beginning's interesting, ending's interesting, middle's a slog, but the art here is just so freaking gorgeous that to me it's almost one of the few times that I will ever say that the story is but the art is so good that you can that you'll forgive it. That's it. And I'm pretty sure we'll never reread this book again. Maybe flip through the pages once in a while, but that's about it. Thanks.